the stone made at a date. Sometimes you have dates that are totally closed. Sometimes in the limestone it's holes. So that's why you can take your paintbrush that is dirty. And stone is not monochromatic, these colors. So let's say that where I have more holes. This is already something that already gives some sense of credibility at that point. Obviously, we can add some more. Mixing dark blue and dark red, it is probably the idea, because this is now too bluish. We need to have some more red together. Holes. The ideal is to use a flat paintbrush, not sharp like this, but those that are very flat, because they are very rigid and are allowing you, when you do this, to follow a perfect trajectory to give the sense of the way. When these are dried, you can add a spot of oxide. And if you have a gate, you will draw the passageway, not the top of that. So do you have some transparent paper, some paper? Because I don't want to draw that. Center, I suspect that here I can have. But this is very thick, it's better to work with the thin one. You can also draw the projection of the bones you want to have. Okay? Then here we have this pilaster. This wall, the definition. If I color everything in black, obviously this will become even even more readable. Then this is a building. Probably this building is going to have an entrance. I don't know if there are steps to get in.
Yes, so we do to raise the plinth level, and then we have
The
finished
steps.
floor.
Okay, which means that if you have the steps, I can now imagine that here you can have a room. Here you have the entrance. Even in this case, I can draw a kind of vault. I can hatch all the rest. And then here you have only staircases in front, or you have a kind of platform along the entire building. Platform?
Yes, so make a raised platform to make it more clean and.
Okay, let's say that this is the platform that has a parapet, probably not to fall down. Here you can have the steps. To give the sense of continuity of the urban fabric, probably here it's good to have some kind of archway that is leading to the back. So at that point you can draw at this point, if the platform is passing also in front of the passageway, the pedestal. So probably here we're going to have other staircases for this. Obviously with some marker, it would have been faster. See how I can read everything that is public, and also the public room, which is the welcome, the lobby where you enter to the building. This is a lawn. Even a lawn is not something that is defined by only one wall, but probably that could be thick like this. And then here you have the wall, you have the edge, the plants that are defining the space. Entering here, you can also imagine to have an object here. Maybe on one of the flint, you can have a flint.
क्लास का 2 पॉइंट भरना है
तो भरो अपना, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, भरो।
because it's well down about the shadow. The light is coming from here, obviously. This has some shadow that repeats the silhouette of this, but it's probably something that does this, and then probably it's not that deep because I don't know how far is this column.
It's quite protected away.
Yeah, but it's not attached on the building. It's a freestanding.
I'd say it's a half, like it's half inside the building and half outside.
So it's tangent, which means that it's thin. So the shadow will be a line like this, which in some way you try to do it, but it's not that really good. So you need to reinforce this, and you can use a different color. Also, normally here, this obviously with the shadow, and also this with the shadow. And when this casts shadow, this is in shadow. So here, you are going to have a shadow like this. And then you have this other shadow. And then here, the window is set back, so there is a shadow in the depth of the space. And also here, these are making this shadow.
The shadow like is actually in a more vibrant shade.
Yeah, some bright colors. And then it will be perfect. But if this is true, let's say that the light arrives up from here. This is bringing the shadow up to here, which means that here I have this shadow, and then this goes up. This is then shape this, because the shadow at the end it is like an axon. This, then you have these columns that is a bit attached. Also here you are going to have the shadow of the column like this, because it's not that far. And then also this, it's very deep. So you're going to have this shadow. And here, this is shadow. Here you can have a little bit of light passing behind. Right? This not so. But clearly this is because this is a very, very important projection, and deserves to be represented in this elevation to give much more the sense of your intention of shadow. Obviously, because the window is set back a little bit more, there is the possibility that the shadow is a little bit. Must be not less than the 18th part, so divided by 18 the length span, and you have the proper thickness of your beam to prevent that it's bending. So if you don't want to make any calculation now, you can probably make the beam. Can I have a Not wrong, but we have to go back to south end.
आपका कैमरा तो
घूम जाएगा ना, व्यापक घुमा सकते हैं ना।
गिर जाएगा मुझसे
तो हार्ड कॉपी होते हैं, लाइक आते नहीं तो हार्ड कॉपी।
Yeah, if it's we have space for cleaning up, I think it will be nice.
से बोलो तो कि वो जो साइड पे ये लोग बच्चे काम किए तो शीट्स दे दिए और वो लोग पेन से ले आएंगे। अरे ग्रुप वाला साइड का भी फिर करना है शीट्स। स्केचिंग वाली।
Please start pinning up your sheets in this
Pin
panel.
up your sheets in that panel.
Three इधर लगा दो.
हाँ, three का है.
इसमें
हाँ, इसमें pin करो. देखो, वहाँ है. वहाँ है. जैसे वो लगा हुआ है ना, वैसे लगाओ.
I think they also have PPT to present.
ये ग्रुप पर क्या ग्रुप है? रजिस्ट्रेशन ग्रुप है.
volunteer? Let's go see you.
हम लोग नहीं कर सकते
There is
कैब अभी चला रही है अभी ना
Disqualify हो जाओगे.
group 2 ready to give the presentation. Group 3, are you ready to give the presentation?
So I'm here to explain our presentation. It starts with the ticket counter.
Would you want to explain the existing first?
Ma'am,
The
there is
existing.
not first my elevation, then I can go on.
As you want. As you want.
Okay, my elevation is compiled with the pillars and some detail on the pillars carving, kind of statue, and lotus on that, which is inspired, which is exist in Nalanda. The pillar is, we find that the pillar, structure of pillar, and we took as an inspiration. I based my design on the specific pillar I found in the Nalanda rooms. The structure, I love the way the original brick was stacked in the sections. So I used the same, save for the my counters, pillars. The origin is made of the red bricks, which is why I choose red sandstone finish to give the same as the feel. You can see it's hand drafted elevation, and inside you can see the detail of the windows, where you can see the carving of a little statue of Buddha with a lotus flower pattern. The central part is made of the mirror, glass with the steel structures. This is the render of that structure. Now this is the existing elements which is we use on the pillar, which is carving of. We do this things as a border on our elevation. Okay. Hello everyone. Here founder and the other gate. This elevation I made on CAD. This gate is the main gate for the entrance of the museum.
The museum.
loud and clear. Make yourself loud and clear. You tell what are the elements you found. Why did you come up with this? Something like that.
I came up with this idea through there are three. This for entrance, this for the car entrance, and the other was for exit of the people. So and this elevation I thought from the entrance of the Nalanda ruin, where when the students went to do their rooms or in the one hall from the another hall, this structure was profoundly found there. And this arc, I made this arc for the statues of Buddha. This is a slab of basalt, like the thickness of basalt will be 55 to 110 mm. I will place there lots of statue of Buddha, and the upper part of this should be for the name of the museum. For the left it's from Hindi, and the right for English. And this pattern I found from the ruins was this element. So I chose this element for the facade for gate.
I am presenting my design for entrance gate of the Nalanda Architectural Museum, inspired by the architectural elements and motifs found in the Nalanda heritage site. Through this design, I have tried to link architecture, history and geography. Now I would like to explain the main features of my design. So, The entrance gate of the Nalanda Architectural Museum is designed as a gateway of knowledge. Inspired by ancient Nalanda Mahabira, one of the greatest center of Buddhist learning in the world, the gate shows the idea of crossing from the ordinary world into a place of learning, peace and wisdom. The gate stands on two strong pillars, that is also called stumps, with stepped bases similar to those seen in ancient Indian architecture. These pillars include lotus motif, that is also called Padma motifs, such as lotus moldings and lotus brackets. The lotus is a very important Buddhist symbol because it represents purity, enlightenment and spiritual growth. The horizontal beam of the gate is decorated with so many of elements like one element called Chaitya arc motif, which took like a small arched windows. These arcs come from early Buddhist cave architecture. Along with this, some of brick panels are also there, are used. These bricks pattern break the flat surface of walls and show the advanced brick making skills of Nalanda craftsmen. At the center of the gate, there is a Buddha medallion which clearly represents enlightenment, knowledge and compassion. This central motif reminds visitors that Nalanda was mainly a Buddhist learning center. And now I would like to add some geography point of view that Nalanda lies in the Gangetic plains of Bihar, where good quality of clay was easily available. Because of this, Nalanda architecture mainly used brick and terracotta, which is reflected in the design of this gate. Overall, the gate combines architecture, motif, symbolism to present the rich heritage of Nalanda in a simple and a meaningful way. Thank you.
Next gate. इन्हीं का है ना? Get there, then we can move to the next group. Group 2. आप हैं group 2?
I just want to add that these pillars are made up of these pillars are made up of just so like a brick, but it's a carving, like and these are also made up of stone carving, and these are the bricks around it.
Group 2 will get ready. Group 2. नहीं आया काम अच्छा करो और प्रेजेंट भी अच्छा करो
Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing well. We are the group 2. So as ma'am has already and sir has already directed, we are going for this presentation. So everyone is aware of Nalanda by now. Nalanda is a World Heritage Site. It's one of the important heritages of Bihar, and like we took our pride in the heritage that we have. The Nalanda University, which was one of what sir earlier quoted, Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford and NASA all combined in one. And this is the Nalanda University. It has architectural motifs. It was very important by architecture as well as very important by its functionality as well. So let's look forward to see what Nalanda University was about, as we would like to present briefly since we cannot go dive in all the details. So Nalanda history. The university was constructed around the time of Kumaragupta. As I said, Gupta period was the golden age of India.
Quickly run through it and come to your proposal.
Okay.
We'll see what you have done. Just run through it.
Okay, ma'am. So since we are escaping the history part, let's just go for the proposal. This is the site plan. We have divided the whole architectural site into 5 groups, and we were asked to survey the temple 3 as well as the monastery 1 and 2. Further, some of our group mates have been in different sites, so you can find references of other site as well. This is the site plan, and this is the plan of what we are constructing. You can see the ticket counter over there, zoomed in the gate, as well as the main entrance to the architectural site. It is what, as Sir said, it doesn't have that architectural character of the Nalanda University. So we are trying to incorporate the architectural character of the university into that, so it can look uniform and have the local language, as we say. The Nalanda had a huge architectural grandeur. As you can see, these niches, this carved out detailing, all these we tried to incorporate in our design. Some of the ornamental details you can see, there was a very beautiful pillar about Temple 3 that we tried to document as well as you can see that flower motif over there, as well as a series of decorative arches that we tried to incorporate. These are our freehand sketches that we tried to do on the site. You can see like a perspective, a view of the site, as well as the temple, as well as some architectural elements here and there, scribbled all over. Then in the sketch you can also see some of the architectural characters in detail, like the bricks had a few burnt, since the Nalanda University had burned down, it had like black patches all over the bricks. The corbelled arches that were used for drainage, as well as here and there, as well as it has beautifully carved cornices, niches carved at the entrance of monastery gates, beautiful pillars, entablature. Now let's come to this slide. You can see over there, you see all the beautiful ornamentations that were there in the site. And now see this, you think it belongs to the site. Well, clearly it doesn't, but somehow it has been placed there. And our goal is simply to do what we have to do, is to incorporate that whole architectural element into these blank facades. So we are now presenting our endeavors to incorporate this detailing into that. You can see this is the elevation that we are proposing for the ticket counter. It is a front elevation, since we are asked not to change the structure of the building. The building had 3 ticket counters. We tried for it to remain the same, as well as we tried to incorporate these carved pillars that you can see. These are half projecting out. As you can see, some of the cornices are used above in the above and below detailing, as well as you can see that bottom triangles, these are bricks that are carved over a 45-degree angle, so like it protrudes out and have a beautiful detailing as well. You can see the side elevation, it has the corbelled arch detailing that you can find in the drainage and all other elements, as well as you can see that jali design clearly illustrated over there. These whole circular mortars, we try to represent the clay tablets that were there. Nalanda had a lot of variation in brick detailing, as well as had clay tablets, as well as these stone carvings. You can see the bottom part, here we have used that stone for that. This is the before and the after. You can see that blank facade before, and how we have tried to beautifully incorporate the features of the Nalanda University there, the ruins of the Nalanda that was once magnificent. Now the existing entrance gate, as one of our teammates had created beautifully, tried to create beautifully, as I would say, since no one is perfect, obviously. The next is the proposal, which we tried to incorporate Buddhist motifs in that. The idols of Buddha, carved niches, the chapter arch detailing, the ornamental detailing, and we, as Sir suggested, we have also tried to incorporate brackets in there. You can see some of the elements that had been beautifully carved by one of our teammates. This Buddha niches that are into variety, one over the central arch, as you can see, over the main entrance, and over the pillars that you can see illustrated there, as well as we have the lotus motif. As someone already said, lotus is very important in the Buddhist culture. As well as you can see, side by side, we have tried to incorporate all the detailings that we took from the site. These are other detailings of the pillars and the jali work that we have seen. Thank you. Any questions?
Members, if you want to add
a pattern it's basically we saw in the entrance in our site, Nalanda site, that there was a very unique row pattern where the bricks were shaped in such a way that they were pointed and looked like a dove's tail. So we tried to incorporate that here, and some one pattern also of altering bricks with gaps in between, that was also incorporated at the top of the facade. For the side facade, the door is made of wooden material. This was justified while we researched that in Nalanda, before the big fire, a lot of elements were made from the wooden material. So to incorporate that, we have used a wooden door here. It also has a gap just above it to allow entrance of natural flow of sunlight and air into it. The plinth is also, as my teammate mentioned, it's a stone plinth. This was noticed while I was recording my details in Nalanda, that many of the temples had a stone plinth while the whole building continued as a brick. So this was also incorporated because of that.
Anybody else wants to add?
Anyone should add?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Geographers can bring in their own perspective.
So in the proposal of main entrance gate, we have incorporated different positions of Buddha, but it also demonstrates the gender equality. One side of the pillar is a statue of Bodhisattva Mahavira Buddha, and on the other side is the feminine representation is of Tara figure. So I would like to mention that gender equality has been also incorporated.
Yes.
Very good point. Anybody else?
One line each.
Any differentiation? She had
You can talk on texture, you can talk on colors.
Entrance gate, and I think the main focus is the Buddha, which is in meditation form, and at the pillar it's a Padma Shri form. So I incorporate that in my design. So
Very good.
Nature of our environment, and the Buddha also indicates the peace and prosperity for our life.
It is also
Group 3. Yes. So we are presenting on Nalanda site. So here we are the group members: Pragati Shrivastava, Manaswini, Akanksha, Swadha, Ayushi, and Tusharika. So here we are discussing about Nalanda site. History has given. The proposal is for museum and kiosk, and as you can see, so here we are just telling about proposal and Nalanda site. This is very disconnected and bland.
This is your panel, no?
Yes, this is a...
That panel should come here, so it will be better.
Present-day Bihar, flourishing from the 5th to 12th century CE and now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Rooted in...
Yes,
So, the redesign of front elevation aims to visually narrate Nalanda's intellectual, spiritual and artistic legacy. The design integrates Buddhist symbolism, archaeological motifs and handcrafted element to a handcrafted elements into a contemporary architectural language. The objectives of our study is, it aimed to develop a redesigned front elevation for the Nalanda Puratattva Museum that thoughtfully reflect the cultural, spiritual and architectural legacy of ancient Nalanda. It also aims to demonstrate how Buddhist symbolism, archaeological motifs and handcrafted design element can be translated into a contemporary architectural expression that enhances the museum's identity while preserving its historical and philosophical essence. The source of inspiration are the sculptures from Nalanda such as Rukmini's Sthan figure, lions and Buddha reliefs reflect spiritual devotion, artistic excellence and the cultural identity of ancient university. Buddhist symbolism such as lotus, dharma chakras, stupa and Triratna represent purity, knowledge, enlightenment and collective spiritual learning, forming the philosophical basis of the facade design. Ancient stone border and relief carving inspired the facade's texture, rhythm and decorative patterns reflecting the Nalanda's historic architectural design. Now I would like to over it to Manaswini.
So this is the existing site of the museum. As we can see, it is not related, we don't feel the essence of Nalanda ruins in this museum, as most of the ruins and sculpture which are being found in ruins have been placed here for exhibition. So we tried to show the essence of Nalanda in this in the facade of this museum. This is one of the elevation that we have proposed. We have incorporated wooden door for the entrance, pillars with carvings inspired from the Buddhism, and jali work. Jali work is done with the carvings of wood and brick arches for windows. The Rukmini statue, Shala Bhanjika, is been placed on the first plinth near the stairs, and we have so we suggest that there should be a Buddha carving on the front facade of the museum.
Present-day Bihar, flourishing from the 5th to 12th century CE and now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Rooted in... So, the redesign of front elevation aims to visually narrate Nalanda's intellectual, spiritual and artistic legacy. The design integrates Buddhist symbolism, archaeological motifs and handcrafted element to a and handcrafted elements into a contemporary architectural language. The objectives of our study is, it aimed to develop a redesigned front elevation for the Nalanda Puratattva Museum that thoughtfully reflect the cultural, spiritual and architectural legacy of ancient Nalanda. It also aims to demonstrate how Buddhist symbolism, archaeological motifs and handcrafted design element can be translated into a contemporary architectural expression that enhances the museum's identity while preserving its historical and philosophical essence. The source of inspiration are the sculptures from Nalanda such as Rukmini's Sthan figure, lions and Buddha reliefs reflect spiritual devotion, artistic excellence and the cultural identity of ancient university. Buddhist symbolism such as lotus, dharma chakras, stupa and Triratna represent purity, knowledge, enlightenment and collective spiritual learning, forming the philosophical basis of the facade design. Ancient stone border and relief carving inspired the facade's texture, rhythm and decorative patterns reflecting the Nalanda's historic architectural design. Now I would like to over it to Manaswini.
So this is the existing site of the museum. As we can see, it is not related, we don't feel the essence of Nalanda ruins in this museum, as most of the ruins and sculpture which are being found in ruins have been placed here for exhibition. So we tried to show the essence of Nalanda in this in the facade of this museum. This is one of the elevation that we have proposed. We have incorporated wooden door for the entrance, pillars with carvings inspired from the Buddhism, and jali work is done with the carvings of wood and brick arches for windows. The Rukmini statue, Shala Bhanjika, is been placed on the first plinth near the stairs, and we have so we suggest that there should be a Buddha carving on the front facade of the museum.
I have designed the main front entrance gate
That is, the front gate design is inspired by the Buddhist stupa form and conical Buddhist symbols derived from the archaeological and sculptural vocabulary of Nalanda Mahavihara. The gate is conceived as an interpretation of a stupa elevation, not a literal stupa. The material strategy goes through gate doors, material, carved natural and wood. Historically, Nalanda structures used timber for doors and sculptures. Finish includes matte and natural finish. The central vertical composition follows stupa symbolism, which represents the 5 elements of nature, that is space, air, fire, water and earth from top to below. Symbolizes purity and knowledge in intellectual awakening. Architectural role softens the rigid geometry of the gate. Dharma Chakra, wheel of laws. Deer motif indicates first summon of the Buddha. Learning through listening. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, fire of wisdom. Relationship with the museum building, the gate height and visual competition. The design complements the simple horizontal massing of the museum. Architectural significance. The gate does not function as a temple entrance. It operates as an interpretive architectural element introducing visitors to Buddhist philosophy. Nalanda's academic legacy. The use of symbols instead of figurative imagery maintains a museological appropriateness. Pala period monastic architecture, where carvings were integrated directly into structural elements.
If I can intervene, this picture is from the side?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Both the pictures are from the side.
Material and craft used are basalt and stone finished concrete. Technique used shallow to medium relief carving with matte finish. It references through Buddhist geometric and floral motifs, particularly rosette and lotus based on compositions found in architectural fragments. Material used here are natural wood, arms interpreted as a styles, lotus and a symbolic wheel, square framing grid. Each unit is framed within a square module which reflects discipline, monastic order. Repetitions create continuity across the facade. Using the motif as a window allows symbolism to be experienced daily, avoids overt religious iconography, maintains the academic character of the museum. This is the window pattern that we made.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Ayushi Singh. I am here to tell you about few of the elements which we have worked on for the front facade. This one is Shala Bhanjika. The sculptural motif is inspired from the archaeological remain at Rukmani Sthan, located within the wider cultural landscape of Nalanda. Originally, the sculpture belongs broadly to the Pala period, a phase when Nalanda flourished as a center of Buddhist learning, art and stone craftsmanship. The material that will be used is predominantly fine-grained buff sandstone, which is locally available in Bihar. Surface finished will be low to medium relief carving. Limestone, stucco and pigment will be applied over stones, often applied over stones in Nalanda sculptures. For finishing, hand carved texture will be retained. No polished mat will be used. The cultural meaning of this is a graceful female figure in Tribhanga posture, hands in Anjali Mudra, gesture of reverence, interpreted as a devotional attendant figure. Next, we have this Buddha carving. The Buddha image selected for the museum documented documented by the French scholar Alfred Faucher during his study of Nalanda sculptures and later published and discussed by B.N. Mishra in his authoritative work Nalanda. In this publication, the image is recorded as a fragmentary or lost piece sculpture, originally part of a larger architectural composition at Nalanda. The particular Buddha sculpture is chosen because it represents a historically documented Nalanda sculpture, not an imagined or generic Buddha form. Also, it reflects Nalanda's archaeological scholarship. We are reintroducing it through a controlled architectural carving and placement that respects the fragmentary nature of original. The material that will be used is black stone, lime stucco detailing where required. The technique will be lost piece inspired carving, that is controlled shallow to medium relief. Finish would be matte, non-polished surface. Next we have this sculptured stone free. The element is a continuous sculptured stone free inspired by horizontal relief band found on monastery walls and plinth zones at Nalanda. Acts like an architectural border similar to a painted band on a building placed at front lower facade. The material will be natural stone, that could be sandstone or basalt. Technique will be shallow relief stone carving. Finish will be matte, weathered appearance and non-polish. Reason for placement is Nalanda relief were carved in low depth, allowing durability while maintaining legibility from a distance. The motifs used are a central animal motif that is inspired from the original Nalanda lion frieze, which represents protection and vigilance of knowledge. The narrative figures at both sides are styled kneeling represents disciples, learners or attendants in a monastic context. The method of installation on building will be such as that the frieze is designed as modular stone panels, not a single block. Each panel will be pre-carved stones fixed onto the wall using concealed mechanical anchors. Thank you.
Telling about the element of lotus cornices. So this structure is from the site of Nalanda, in which at the upper side we saw some of the layered structure. So we wanted to put these structures, step-like structures, in our modernized form of redesigned form of site. So the source that we have took the lotus cornice, that is the upper wall treatment of the brick monastery at the Nalanda Mahavira. Now what are the architectural role that we are inclined towards using this? That is first, it acts as a horizontal terminating element between the wall surface and the roof, and it also visually break the vertical height of the wall. Now the material that we used, includes the brick masonry base with the lime plaster. And why we use the lime plaster? Because it provides a soft surface for more detailing on it. Now the materials, the finish, that is matte and non-polish, and the motifs that we use is repetitive lotus flower relief and which is shallow in depth. Now lotus symbolic representation is about the purity of thought and spiritual and intellectual awakening. Placement is takes in the upper wall zones, not at the eye level.
This is the design of the lotus motif which we tried in corners.
Here you can see your left hand side kiosk. Kiosk is very bland, it is out of the context. So what we have done, so we have just extended. If you see step-like structure, then there is a pediment area where we have given a dharma chakra and three frame structure, three motifs. So these motifs are just from the side, and then whole it's a cladding of red brick. So you can see there is a pattern from here. Right hand side you can see we can use the pattern as a brick, not a brick, just a cladding, to which give the essence of Nalanda site and give the continuity of the site.
So we are group 4 and we've been given a task to design the museum as well as the toilets, and we've tried to, within the given time span, we have tried to make some attempt. We are a group members, myself, Rajesh, that's Sidram, Madhumishta, Nikhil, Manjeet, Priyanka and Tarannu. One more member, I think he's just outside, he's coming. What's his name? Mukesh. So our approach towards it was basically, we wanted to look at it from the historical point of view, and as per the instructions given, we tried and inculcate all the facets, elements, materials, members, motifs. So start. Yeah,
so good afternoon. Myself Sidram. I'm currently a third year UG studying in a department of Art Planning, NIT Patna. So the proposal is of Nalanda Archaeological Museum. Let's begin. This is the existing museum where I get a pointer. Can you see the cursor? The entrance of the and footpath and the existing building, existing block we have here, and this is the toilet and the office, and this is the area which we have seen when we have visited.
Under construction currently.
This is under construction. What we have done is we have proposed we took the design philosophy is that the concept. Ancient monastic Nalanda Mahavira for Central Museum experience. So what is this? In the right hand, you see that picture, inspiration and the rhythm pattern. So from the inspiration and we took the same and we repeated the same, but way. It represents the same university. So the toilet facade.